How are you? I'm going to talk about JNU entrance, MA English preparation. There have been many requests from the student side on this channel regarding this, and this was, of course, the most awaited video, and I feel fortunate enough to record it at least now. Usually, students have some misconception or traditional kind of stereotypes regarding JNU in general, also MA English in particular. I mean, getting admission into CES or English Studies Center is not that easy. Also, JNU entrance is considered to be one of the most competitive exams in India, and of course, thought to be very tough too. And this is the reason why many of our colleagues or many of our fellows never try to even write it or attempt it once. But let me tell you, it is the easiest one. I mean, uh, even if you are just a starter, just a beginner in the field of literature, English literature, it's going to be very easy for you, and you don't need to read so much for this, or you don't have to be a very prolific reader for that matter, or even if you are very 100 percentage knowing all these things, I mean, in English literature, it's not sure that you will be granted that admission in JNU. Or if you are empty, like completely starting from zero, beginning from zero, then even then there is a chance of winning this entrance. It's that simple, at the same time a bit in a way systematically complicated, because English literature as an area itself, it's wide, it's so wide, maybe one of the or the most wide subject. Let's say this is the field of academics which is the widest, let's say that. Okay, here is the syllabus. As we all know, it's very important to know the syllabus first before writing any competitive exam, any kind of entrance or university test. It's very mandatory for a candidate to know the syllabus first. To know the syllabus doesn't mean just to read the syllabus, just like okay, literature in English, world literature as such. It's not so. It's just knowing and understanding. It's a kind of comprehending the ideas mentioned in the syllabus, each and every concept. It should be that should be clear to your brain in order to understand what should be read and what should not be read, and how to go systematically about the preparation, etc. So please let me read. Please go through this once and twice or thrice or whatever times you want, and get it fully, like what it is being mentioned here, what are the facts. Just like literature in English, what is literature in English? Many of you might be knowing this is just British literature, or like maybe some literature produced in the part of UK, London, etc., etc. But many of us don't know. This also include Scottish literature, maybe Scottish, and Irish literature. Okay, Irish literature, Scottish literature, and even some other part of, I mean, the Great Britain. As far as the English literature is concerned, British literature or literature in English in general could be the uh, supreme part, or maybe the most contained part, let's say that. Okay, second point is world literature. See, coming to this term world literature, you should not take it as just literature produced in the world, not in the world, or in the kind of in those countries, world countries, or the famous countries, or literature in everywhere. It's not that sense it means. It is just about the globally popular works or literature. Even it can include the translated work, the regional works, that have importance outside its borders. I mean, the country borders, or they have a kind of transnational importance, or the audience, or let's say the theme, or the kind of style of writing, or even the language will be produced for the audience globally, the global audience. It's just like the concept of global village, globalization, or even literature dealing with the very concept of globalization itself can come under this. So world literature doesn't mean the literature produced in all countries or every countries in the world. It doesn't mean that. World literature is for this genre, or this part of literature, which consists of global audience, globally important themes, or universal kind of themes, etc. Okay, even the pattern, structure, form, style will be of this literature will be of global importance. So it has a very wide, what you say, acceptance, And main thing you should remember, it has a transnational purpose, transnational or meta existence than its regional or its national publishing or kind of that existence of a particular book. Okay, so that's very important to remember regarding the term world literature. Next is literature in India and other parts of world. Look at this literature in India. It's very, very important. Questions are asked from this part. So please remember to know their authors and their works, and extract will be asked there to comprehend, and you should be getting, you should be analyzing, some text in some particular context. So for that, truity, like the accuracy of knowledge is very, very important when it comes to literature in India. And of course, this part is very easier if you are interested in literature. Indian literature is so simple. There is nothing much or complicated or kind of conceptual complexity in this part. Okay, so things are very simple, and you should know the movements and the way literature came to India. Okay, this is very important to remember the existence or evolution of literature in India, and what are the major works, who are the major authors, and you should be knowing the characters also. I mean, there will be deep questions regarding character analysis or something, but of course it's a computer based objective test. It won't be descriptive at all, but there will be questions which are analytical from within the text and from within the inner core of some part of dialogue or some part of character. Such and such questions will be there. So for that matter, you need to be very thorough about every part possible. And within this, you have a lot of time now because of COVID and this lockdown. Next point is English in India. Apparently, this is about English language, the development, the growth and development of English as a language in India. How English become official language, which means the language of the government and governance in India, from which century, and what was the trend in literature then, and how Hindi literature kind of uh, went behind, or you can say English literature, English as a language influenced literature also, and how Indian writers choose this language as their method to write. This part you should know, basically the growth and development of language in India. This is this part, English in India. That's done. I hope it's clear. Next is very important again, literary and cultural theories. This is nothing, I mean, very, of course, very, let's say it's conventional and it's always already there. Whether you know literature, whether you know the question of what is literature, what is novel, what is poetry, above all this, it does matter what is literary and cultural theory. This theory part is very, very important for any student who is concerned about literature, because theories are those tools which help us to understand, to comprehend, not only to comprehend, to analyze, to kind of judge it, any work. Okay, any particular work, we have to have some knowledge about theories, and these are kind of backup, that will back up or support our reading, support our analogy, support our criticism, our own judgment, self-reflection on or about many texts. I mean, various kind of literary texts. Okay. Non-literary artistic forms. See, what is non-literary? Everyone knows this non-literary. But what is artistic forms? It is just like, don't go much with this thick part of artistic. The word artistic. Okay, I'll tell you this. Take it as just art forms, art expressions in the form of some not so literary kind of stuff, but some other expression. Maybe the non-written part of the literature could also be part of this part. According to the syllabus, it does mean, as I told you before, sculpture and painting, music, folklore, some kind of folk arts, etc. This part, there won't be much question from this part. As I observed the last year paper, I found it so. But of course, be aware of the most famous painting work or sculpture work in India, also in Britain, UK, etc. Okay, whatever is considered important in the British literature or English literature as such. English literature is also about American literature. Okay, American literature, African literature, Afro-American literature, and Canadian literature is also there, and more importantly, Australian literature is also there. Okay, second last point, relationship between literature, culture, and society. This part is always there. I mean, this is the core idea that the application part of literature. How does literature impact on society? or on our culture, or rather in the reverse manner, okay, rather than this, how culture and society construct or kind of offers to or adds to literature or literature production, okay, production of literature, how it become influenced by factors like society, factors or aspects of our life and society. That is very important to remember. So these three things, literature, culture and society, they are very well interconnected in such a way that we can't extricate one from another. It's not hard, it's very simple to judge any literary work, with regard to its production, its background, the author's background, his culture or our culture, the audience, the type of audience, the society, the impact factor of that, the reader response, the author response. So such theories will also help you to read this part. Practical criticism of given literary pieces. Practical criticism, it does mean just the close reading, I mean comprehension side, okay. There will be some extracts given from popular texts, not necessarily popular, but some, let's say, major, the milestone works of a kind of literature. It could be Indian literature, English literature, or whatsoever. So there will be questions from that part, whereby you will be asked to analyze a particular text with regard to something, maybe with regard to its style, its way of presentation, which means of course style, and style has also another meaning. For its maybe the poem will be analyzed or analyzed for its metaphors, figures of speech, and kind of structure, form, the theme even, okay. There will be character analysis even, but the exact will be surely given with the option. So there's no much very don't panic about this section. But this is the most emphasized section, most emphasized part in uh, the last paper, okay. So you can also see the previous question paper for this, how this syllabus is being distributed there. And I found 90% questions are from the last section, which is underlined here, practical criticism of given literary pieces. So don't have this observation that this will be the same in next part. In next question paper, some other part will be emphasized, for example, literature in English, or literary culture, literary and cultural theories, or Indian English literature. And as far as the JNU entrance is concerned, the syllabus of English literature is very different from other universities. I have observed this. Just like we have no much classical literature or very ancient kind of the starting literature there. Now we have modern, postmodern, and contemporary literature, and even uh, some literature which are part of not literature as such, but cultural studies, including culture. So the word culture itself, let's say, it's being stressed everywhere, even in the syllabus part, relationship between literature, culture and society. Over here you see this culture. Also in the fifth part, literary and cultural theories, see, they should have easily said literary or criticism, or literary theory and criticism, but instead of that it's written literary and cultural theory. So from that it is obvious cultural theories had a role to play throughout the history of literature. As we say, like, culture has a kind of influence on literature as life has, okay. So this part is very important. You should know English literature center in JNU. It's not English literature center as such, it's English studies, which include English language, English literature, plus cultural studies, okay. Let's move on. See this blue part, this is a footnote for the syllabus, okay. As I told you, syllabus is very vast and wide, because things are not specific, only the areas are specifically given, but we are not clear which author, which part, which text, or which kind of theory will be asked, okay. We are not so sure, or we are not at all sure, let's say we are not at all sure, okay. So taking that into account, this footnote should be or must be noted for your overall judgment of this exam, because the objective of the test, it's written clearly here, it's mentioned here, the objective of the test is to select those who demonstrate not just in-depth knowledge. See, I have highlighted this not just because having a great knowledge, or having read 1,000 novels or 100 novels or 100 kind of book of literature won't be enough, okay. This is the matter, uh, you know import It's also imperative to have a knowledge of culture. As I told you, culture is the most emphasized term in everywhere. Culture and literature that come interchangeably, or kind of it's a fusion. It's a kind of concoction of something which we can't define. Very deep knowledge of literature. Just you know what is novel, you know what kind of novel, you know what kind of poem, or you know you have read this much of novel, this much of authors, you know everything. Don't be perfect, or don't be overconfident about that, because there are other things to be considered as well. It's about the knowledge of culture. I mean, the theory, the studies, you know, the cultural studies, the literature, the movement of literature, the movement from literature to culture and vice versa, or maybe culture to literature back also. Okay, so this part is very very important. As I told you, the food, but literary sensibility, but this but is emphasized again. Okay, but not this but, having a knowledge of literature, culture, that's important, but then that's not enough. What is needed much more? Literary sensibility and a capacity for original thinking. Original thinking, capacity for original thinking, it's nothing but your own judgment, your own self-reflection, creativity regarding everything you have read or you have known about literature. So it doesn't matter how much you know or whatever you have known so far, the original thinking, there will be questions for sure. That's why the comprehension part is emphasized in the previous question paper, I feel. And as far as so far my experience is concerned with this center for almost 6 to 7 years, this has been there. This original thing, the idea of original thinking has been stressed till now, and it will be stressed forever, I think. And that's the reason why I go through JNU. And having a sense of this footnote, this is very imperative before entering into the syllabus. Okay, so once you complete reading the syllabus, you please have this idea in mind: original thinking, the how of literature, the how of everything you have learned. That's important, the application part. Okay, remember, this is the supreme most concept, I would say. Having knowledge of anything won't do, because since you have options in CBT, you can have even guessworks. Okay, and your guesswork might be or must be true, and there will be people with zero knowledge, they get into JNU. Okay, that is also a possibility, because fate decides everything in this matter. But if you have read everything, and if you are sure of things really clearly well, then there is nothing to worry, that you can be master of yourself, you can judge your result in advance, you don't need to worry about the fate of yours in future, etc, etc. I hope that's clear. Okay, this is the detailed explanation of syllabus. It is not just that you should read the syllabus as such, or you should just know what it is. Okay, more than that, you should know the concept clear. Walk through this part and try to get the core ideas, the parts. Okay, that the areas, the vast or the major areas assigned in the syllabus part, you can have some subsections over here, just like you will create your own subparts for it, so that you should be specific in your studies. Also, you can cover so many things within limited span of time. So for that purpose, I have made, for example, in first part, literature in English, it it's not just British literature, it's also about American. And inside American literature, we have basically African American and Latin American literature. But in that also American literature and African American literature, they get more emphasis. Then you have Canadian literature. That's not that important, but then of course there'll be two questions from this side. And Australian, of course, this is the third most important English literature in the world, let's say. So there'll be 2 to 3 questions, or 3 to 4 questions from this side as well. As I said in the previous part, this is global literature, or works that have transnational importance and audience outside the specific country or nation where it is written or published. Okay, so a text getting fame outside its domain, its own domain, that is called, let's say, that's the context, that is the phenomena of literature becoming worldly. Okay, worldly doesn't mean the other worldliness, or this worldliness is something else. It has a global kind of let's say global kind of entity existence, and that kind of a being. Okay, So, as I told you, like literature translated into English from any language. So, the regional language books are not considered here, but apparently their translation into English. So, world literature, remember, it should be in English. That is very, very important. Whether it is translated or written originally in English doesn't matter. But in the end, it should be in English. Remember, only the English works will be asked, okay, whether it is translated or not. Next is literature in India and other parts of world. Literature in India, it's Indian literature, other parts. Of course, this is important to discuss. This might be about, like, there will be questions about maybe some, I mean, it's very rare to Bangladesh literature, Chinese literature, or, such kind of stuff, Korean literature. I mean, it's very rare to be there. Remember, this is the second most important part. So, for English literature syllabus, the second most important thing will be Indian literature for sure, and sometimes it become the first important thing. It's okay, ignore semester material. You can prefer that because they are very precise and to the point, kind of accurate information they give. Because you don't have time to go through uh, anything and everything possible at this point. Be thorough about Indian writers, their period, the colonial, post-colonial, pre-colonial kind of that milestone, the historical periods that set up the very genre of English literature in India. English in India, I have already explained this in the beginning. This is the evolution or growth of Indian English or Indian official language. Sorry, English as official language, also literary language in India. Okay, the why it is important, because this was the beginning of English literature in India. Okay, this was a kind of what to say, pretext that created Indian English as such. So there are many kind of English. There is no one English, single English exists in the world. We all speak maybe Indian literature, Indian English. African people speak African English. Canadians speak Canadian English. So such and such. So Indian English, came into existence with this. I mean, the development of English language in India was very primary. And next is literary and cultural theories. We all know what is literary theory, and even cultural theories. That are some, let's say, all theories can be there, just like feminist, post-feminism, and you have colonialism, post-colonialism, you have Orientalism. It's a bit, yeah, of course, theory which is related to colonialism and even feminism. You have structuralism, that is the core or the crux of many other theories to evolve, and you have again post-structuralism. Here I have clearly mentioned that those aspects which determine the taste of author and reader, their connectedness and disconnectedness, the cultural aspects and elements within and without a text, the linguistic theories regarding style, form, structure, etc. come under this. So this is basically the application part of any text, the way you read a text. Just like if you read a novel, you may feel, okay, this angle represents the entire book, or this angle is supreme in the book, or this is the perspective from which I can perceive, I can analyze, I can judge, or I can even rename or name this book. So these kind of notions come when we complete reading a particular text. So there something works, okay, behind it, like it must be some preset notions about the text in our mind, or it may be part of our reading of the cultural or literary theories. I mean, most importantly, if it is that it's so academic, and then you can have a kind of academic judgment or critical judgment with the help of these theories. Non-literary artistic forms, I have already told you, it comes just like sculpture, music, painting, letters, interview, films, etc. So this is a very rare thing to consider. Just like there will be questions regarding sculpture or painting, or perhaps music or movie. I mean, that's also a chance. Movies also adaptations, but of course they'll be related to the mainstream literature, so there is nothing to worry about this section. Relationship between literature, culture, and society. As I told you, these three are very, very important concept to consider literature. What is literature? That's the question. Okay, so have a notion of yours, that you have your own notion of literature. That's supreme. That's just supreme. You don't need to read exactly what is literature. Okay, rather than that, the how of literature, how literature affect society. The impact factor of literature. The impact factor of literature in society and culture, or maybe society and culture. The impact factor of society in literature. The impact factor of culture in literature. This is it. Look at the bold part here. How literature reflects, yes, reflect how it represents, how it presents in itself various aspects of life and culture is supreme. That is there. Coming to the final point, practical criticism. Number is 8, okay, not 7. Practical criticism of given literary pieces. There will be some extract given from popular or famous works, literary poems and all, okay, and from based on that extract you will have to address some questions that follow, okay. So this comes, I mean, it's very simple part of course, but this is the most important one, because your capacity of judgment, your comprehension, your analogy, the way you observe things, that is of course observed in this part. So this is the core, the most important part of the syllabi as well as the question paper of 2019. If you observe that, if you see that question paper, you will get it, okay. So please go through this one. So that was about the explanation of the syllabus. The books, of course, many people ask, okay, which books should be read, and which is the single most book to be read for this English literature or preparation. There is no single book for all this subject. As I told you, English is a very vast subject which we can't even specifically say this, you should read this book for everything. There is nothing called like that. I mean, a book for everything in literature, okay. So I have listed out around 14 books or links or guides here, okay. So you can go through it, and whichever book you prefer to read, please mark it down and then start reading it, okay. Even if you are beginning now, right away, you have enough time. Don't worry that you will not be finishing all this book, okay. No need to finish all them. Just go through it, go through them to get whatever you need, just what you need, okay. At least to the point of, as far as the exam is concerned, what you need is what you exactly need, nothing more, okay. So please create please make your own time, your own schedule, and just see your weak part, okay. Which part you are weak in, I mean, is it literary cultural theory part? Then go through. Is it about literature theory and the cultural literary theory, okay. Then go through Peter Barry's beginning theory book first. So identify your weak point, where you are weak in literature. If you have already read many number of English literature books, even history books, etc., etc., you don't have to have a very thorough reading of literature again, okay. But apart from that, you make your this point stronger, literary and cultural theory first, and then go to first glossary of literary terms. See, this book is very concise and to the point matter. Just like if you want to buy hard, no need to buy hard, okay. I'm so sorry. Never buy hard in literature. It is just to comprehend, just to understand the facts, and more than the fact, more than the history, more than the what part, go to the how part. Okay, now contemporary literary and cultural theory from structuralism to eco-criticism. So both three and the fifth one, Peter Barry, both Peter Barry and P.K. Nair, these books are the same, almost the same, okay. You can read either, not both if you have no time, okay. And P.K. Nair is of course a very simple version of it. So if you don't prefer Peter Barry, you go for it, okay. Peter Barry is most widely suggested, of course. And then first two books, Andrew Sanders, The Short Oxford Dictionary, History of English Literature. This gives you a precise account of English literature, British literature, Irish literature, even Canadian literature. As I told you, this consists everything. But there is not much for American English, there American literature there. So you will be needing a separate book for American and African literature, okay. Then Pramod K. Nair, A Short Introduction to English Literature. So these are the foundation works, let's say basic things you need to understand before beginning. So if you are a beginning, really go through this book, okay. Sixth one, Practicing Feminist Criticism by Maggie Hem. So this again a literary or cultural theory book. So if you are not knowing enough in this field, don't go for this book, okay. Cancel this book if you are already a beginner. Then IGNOU material, as I suggested in the first part, this is very important to know. Even English literature, Indian literature, you have separate material, and that they are available on IGNOU website, or you can ask your IGNOU friend or any colleague, whatever, okay, whoever. So that's done. Then what is world literature? This is David Damrosch. Norton, Oxford, Cambridge Anthology of Literature. So these are various anthologies or kind of editions about English literature. Okay, so these are very big or thick books. Even if you don't have time, you can selectively read these volumes if you have it. Norton, Oxford, Cambridge Anthology, any anthology will do. Okay. This is of course for a detailed understanding of a historical analysis of literature. That's it. 10th one, I have of course highlighted it because John Leonard, The Poetry Handbook, a guide to reading poetry for pleasure and practical criticism. This help you to do the comprehension parts very well. Okay, this is a concise guide, or like a history of Indian English literature. So if you want to read exclusively about Indian English literature, this book is highly useful. Now you have two links given. One is Britannica and the other one is Cambridge University's official website. Okay, so even if you have access to any world famous university's official website and even the library, you are so lucky you can access any kind of material from that. So please go for it. And yes, last point, which is not least important again, practice. Many candidate ask me really what is to be done for getting into JNU, what is the easiest method. I always highlight this word, just practice the questions, because why practicing questions is important. As I told you, this is CBT mode and objective questions will be there. So practicing will help you to understand the pattern of the question paper, the pattern of the very question, in what manner the question is being asked, etc., etc. And from that itself, it's easy to understand how you will answer or which option will be the most accurate. Okay, even if there will be confusing options, it will be easier for you to deal with it once you have practice. Okay, so that's all about English literature preparation, and be ready with all these. And if you haven't already known, please know it. If you have any confusion regarding the preparation, regarding the book, you can write to me in the comment box. Okay, and I would like to finally thank HRK Studio for this nice opportunity to see you, to meet you, to talk to you, to fortunate enough to do this. And I thank HRK Studio for this. Also, I thank you all on behalf of myself and HRK Studio. All the best. Bye.